Alright, legends, we got something gaming related today. I found a video here, and these are the top 10 retro games, apparently, that still hold up today.
Hey retro gamers, welcome back to Grad's Games. Today, I'm diving into a list of classic games that have stood the test of time.
Well, that one's a banger.
These are the gems that, despite their age,
one's a
remain
banger.
as fun and engaging as ever. My name is
That
Adam,
one's a banger.
and these are the top 10 retro games that still hold up today. Let's get stuck in.
I think this is going to be a good list, actually.
Kicking off the list at number 10, we have Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. And what an incredible game. Released in 1990, this game introduced us to Yoshi and brought a whole new level of creativity to the Mario series. Its tight controls, imaginative level design and charming visuals make it a timeless classic that's still a blast to play today.
You know what? It's kind of hard to argue with this pick, to be honest. I remember Mario 3 came out before this one in 1988. I think it was published in Japan. Groundbreaking game at the time. But, you know, the colours are a little bit off and a bit drab because of the NES limitations, you know what I mean? So when this one came out, I mean, this was just another level up. A breath of fresh air. Tight controls as long as you're playing this on an official Nintendo product. I probably wouldn't play it emulated. There are some input lags in certain emulators and things like that. But yeah, very tight controls, wonderfully colourful and vibrant. And that's what stood out about the Super Nintendo straight away, quite frankly. Introducing Yoshi and different flying mechanics and things like that. Yeah, very special game. Definitely, I don't really think the Super Nintendo had a lot of great platformers. It wasn't the strong point of the system, I don't think, at least in my opinion. But this one blew pretty much all other 16-bit platformers out of the water at the time, definitely. I know we got a lot of Sonic people here that will rebuttal. Sonic is great too. Comparing that to Mario World though, I don't think so.
At number 9 we have Shining Force 2 for the Sega Mega Drive or Sega Genesis. Released in 1993, this tactical RPG stands out for its deep strategic gameplay, engaging story and memorable characters. The blend of exploration and turn-based combat makes it a game that's still incredibly enjoyable to play even today.
It's been so long since I've dabbled in Shining Force, so I can't, I guess have a really in-depth opinion on the game. It would be wrong of me to try. However, I do think because Super Nintendo was known as the pure RPG console with games like obviously Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, Final Fantasy, all the Final Fantasy games, just to name a few, whatever. I do feel like some of the games, like Shining Force, for example, and Phantasy Star and all that, got a little bit overshadowed on the Sega Genesis. Don't go to sleep on Sega Genesis RPGs. There's a lot of good ones out there. And this was certainly one of the better ones for sure. I always love the portrait windows in this game too. That
Coming
came
in at number 8 is The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. What a game. This SNES masterpiece from 1991 set the standard for adventure games with its rich story, intricate puzzles and expansive world. Even today, it's easy to get lost in the land of Hyrule for hours on end.
I think objectively speaking, no one can argue that A Link to the Past is a 9 or a 10 out of game, right? I don't think anyone's going to argue that. But it also depends what kind of gamer you are. I think a lot of Zelda fans forget not everybody's into Zelda. This game has it all, though. Complex puzzles, dungeons, complex overworld map, wonderful story. The game's got it all. However, saying that it holds up today, well, it depends how much time you have on your hands to play a game like this. A guy that's working like 50, 60 hours a week and has a family, he's probably going to not have the time to play something so complex. But God bless you if you're retired or you're on the couch smoking bongs all day and you have time to play games for 18 hours a day. You're certainly going to get a lot more out of a game like this. Being a little bit overgeneral, but I'm just trying to show two extremes to get my point across. Obviously, it's not always that simple. I guess it just depends what kind of game you are. But no doubt about it, this is a 9 or a 10 out of 10 game. Definitely. Definitely.
At number 7, Street Fighter 2 punches its way onto my list. Originally released in arcades in 1991 and later on the SNES, this fighting game revolutionised the genre with its diverse cast of characters and competitive gameplay. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a newcomer, the thrill of a well-timed Hadouken never gets old.
I mean, obviously, combos and everything are a little bit more complex in today's fighting games, but this is still a fun pleasure to pick up and play. Complex cast of characters, all with different moves. I will say that the earlier Street Fighter games probably not as balanced as today's games. Like, if you take the time to master a character, they're all a lot more even, I think, compared to yesteryear. Like, I don't think you're going to do as good with, say, I don't know, maybe Dalsum as what you probably would with Ken, for example. Maybe it's just my opinion because I'm not experienced enough. I don't know. But I don't know anyone that wouldn't just pick up Street Fighter 2 today and do some couch co-op with their friends. I mean, they're still selling this and re-releasing this even today. You know, you have the Capcom Anniversary Collection. It's not a coincidence. This game kicks ass. So many memories. Whether I was playing this on the coin app or renting this on Super Nintendo. In Australia, this costs like $130 in Super Nintendo.
Sliding into number 6, we have Mega Man X. This 1993 SNES title took the classic Mega Man formula and added new mechanics like wall jumping and dashing, along with a darker, more mature storyline. Its challenging gameplay and rocking soundtrack still provide an exhilarating experience.
Yeah, I think this is a very subjective pick, to be honest. And I love certain Mega Man games. I'm pretty vanilla. I mainly like the mainline series. You know, 1, 2, 3, 11. There are a few that I can play. I found Mega Man X to be a lot more complex. Once you start adding dash mechanics and jumping mechanics into complex boss fights. I did beat this game once many years ago with about 500 save states on emulation, and I didn't have a good time, being a bit more on the casual gamer side. Keeping in mind you're saying that this game still holds up today. Most guys in their 30s, 40s and 50s these days are working full time and are a bit more on the casual side of things, you know what I mean? So with that being said, and knowing how complex this game was, I don't really think this one holds up as well today. If you're a hardcore gamer, you're still going to have a great time with any Mega Man experience. But the Mega Man X series has got harder and harder and harder as it went along. So I'm probably going to disagree with this pick, and I'm probably also going to get murdered in the comments. But oh gosh. Oh well. It is a great game, but it's a, you know, dude. Dad's not going to pick this up and just rock it, I don't think. Music's fantastic.
Halfway through the list, at number 5 is Chrono Trigger.
Aha.
Released in 1995 for the SNES, this RPG is often hailed as one of the best games of all time. Its engaging story, memorable characters and innovative combat system make it a must-play for any RPG fan, even decades later.
So, this game's got a beautiful story, plot twist. One of the first times I ever saw major plot twists in a video game as well. And a wonderful battle system. A game kind of similar to Link to the Past. I guess it depends what kind of gamer you are and also how much time you have on your hands, you know what I mean? This is one big adventure. However, in my humble personal opinion, I do think Chrono Trigger is a little bit easier to get into, or a little bit less complex than Link to the Past. Some people are going to heavily disagree with me on that, but I guess it depends. If you're a casual gamer with a family and a lot of time on your hands, it's going to be a bit hard to dive into this bad boy. But, you know, again, if you're on the couch, you don't have to work or you're retired, this will fill your time in for a long time, I think. What a beautiful orchestra soundtrack too, man. I would definitely recommend to anyone to at least try this and see what you think. It's hard to go against Chrono Trigger.
Coming in at number 4, it's Tetris for
You're
the
going
Game
for the
Boy.
low-hanging fruit.
This 1989
All
puzzle
right.
game became a global phenomenon thanks to its simple yet addictive gameplay. The satisfaction of clearing lines and chasing high scores is just as compelling now as it was when it first launched.
I mean, he's 100% correct. Anyone can pick up this game or even a similar variation of this game and instantly have fun. You've also got the option of like playing Tetris all day and getting competitive at it, or just killing 5-10 minutes on your lunch break. That's the beauty about this game. You can play it as much or as little as you want. And today, you've got like Tetris 99, which adds the battle royale like genre to this game. And then you've got Tetris Effect, which I think is how people play esports in this now, I think. If I'm wrong about that, correct me. I don't want to say wrong information. But I think there's an esports element to Tetris Effect. So they're re-releasing this game constantly even today. They just did like some collection as well. Yeah, if you haven't played this one, you've been living under a rock, that's for sure. Yeah, this is great. I love the old school music in the original Game Boy version, though.
At
It just
number
is
3,
different.
I've got
Oh,
Gunstar Heroes
yes!
for the Sega Mega Drive. Released in 1993, this run-and-gun game is known for its fast-paced action, colourful graphics and cooperative gameplay. Its innovative weapon system and challenging levels make it a game that still feels fresh and exciting today.
Yeah, so for those of you who've never played Gunstar Heroes, it's kind of like an even more futuristic version, I guess, of like Metal Slug. It's like Metal Slug on steroids. You basically play these space heroes and you get a big range of weapons, which you can actually use a fusion system to combine and make extra double up weapons and even more powerful weapons, if it makes sense. Lots of awesome levels, bosses, things like that. Not much else to say. But I feel like this is one of the best Sega Genesis games that it seems these days, for some reason, not many people have played. Because I would put this probably in the top 5 Sega Genesis games ever. It's an absolutely brilliant run-and-gun action game. But for some reason, when I stream it, compared to other Sega games, this does not set the house on fire. It could just be a case that it's more fun to play than it is to watch. I don't know. But if you haven't played Gunstar Heroes, I promise you, you are missing out on an absolute banger. Also, there are 3 difficulty levels, and you can tailor the experience to how you want. What's also unique about this game is when you play on the normal or harder difficulty, some of the bosses have more forms and even a slightly different design as well. And so, yeah, I found that really unique at the time for a 16-bit game too. Play this game if you haven't. That's great.
Just missing the top spot at number 2. Yeah, it's Super Metroid. This 1994 SNES game perfected the Metroidvania genre with its atmospheric world, tight controls and engaging exploration. Discovering every secret in Zebes is a journey worth taking, even today.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the 16-bit era, it was like a 9 or a 10 out of 10 game, definitely. I find games like this so complex. I don't know if it's just I'm too casual or my lack of ability. With that being said, I am good at some pretty hard games, but not this one. I've tried to learn it, and I think the best I ever did was get about 25% in. I think once we got up to the wall jumping areas, it was game over for me. I just found that very infuriating and frustrating. Also, figuring out some puzzles. I guess if you use the internet to help you, it'll probably help you get a little bit further ahead than if you were like trying to figure out everything on your own. But I don't know. I mean, I just want to play games these days as a 40-plus-year-old to relax and just unwind. And I just feel like the complexity of this game always frustrated me. So, I mean, if you're someone that's a very high-performance person and, you know, working a lot of hours, again, have a lot of responsibilities, I don't really think a game like this is going to calm you down. I think it's going to flip your lid. However, like I said, if you're retired, have more time on your hands, and you're after an adventure on the holidays, maybe this is worth sinking your teeth into. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I can only talk from my point of view.
If you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate you watching. If you're enjoying it and this is your kind of thing,
check out Grad's Games,
please
guys.
like and subscribe.
Thank you for the
Tell your
video,
mates,
man.
Share the video. Everything helps and I really appreciate it. But don't go anywhere just yet. I've got one more game for you.
What we got? Oh, wow. Okay. This is number 1. Jeez, I mean...
And finally,
at
number 1, we have Streets of Rage 2 for the Sega Mega Drive.
Actually, you know what? If I was to pick another one game, I probably would pick Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2, I think, is the ultimate pick up and play couch co-op game to fight against one another. But this is a very, very good pick as well. The ultimate beat 'em up. Not the first beat 'em up to come along. Obviously, we had standard bearers like Double Dragon, and Final Fight was the first game to kind of do this sort of art style in like 1989. But basically, the developers behind Streets of Rage 2 took the ball and ran with it. Wonderful pick-up and play controls, bosses, colourful layouts, environments, characters. Some of the best music you are going to hear in a Sega Genesis game. The whole thing's a whole package. Multiple difficulty levels. You can tailor it to be as easy or as hard as you want. And you can play with a friend. And each of the 4 characters in this game boost style and charisma. This is a wonderful pick for number 1. Everyone's going to be divided, but I think it's a good choice.
Released in 1992, this beat-em-up game is celebrated for its smooth gameplay, dynamic soundtrack, and memorable characters.
I'm glad he's showing more than one level. It wouldn't be doing the game justice if you didn't. You're going to hear some of these tracks.
Whether playing solo or with a friend, the excitement of taking down waves of enemies in the streets never fades.
This is a wonderful collection of games. This just took me back to when I was a kid. I might have not agreed with all the picks, but each game on this list was wonderful. And thank you so much to Grad's Games, and thank you guys for watching. Give us a sub. Let us know what games you thought should have been on this list, if there's any missing or anything you'd like to add. And we'll see you on the next video. Take care, everybody.